Hey, Codem family, welcome to the Codem podcast. Today we are talking to James Pickens, who is a good friend of Codem. James, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, for those who don't know, and if you don't know, you're just born. But James Pickens has been on Grey's Anatomy. How long has that show been on the air, James?
Wow, 22 seasons
22
with
seasons, and you've been a
22
part of how
seasons
many seasons
since day one.
since day one? Is that not fantastic?
Yeah, it's been a blessing, brother. That's for sure.
Wow. So what do you give, how does that happen? How does a show stay on the air? Are you longer than what's the show, New York, the police drama,
Oh, no, oh yeah,
Law
Law
and
and Order.
Order? Yes.
Law and Order's probably got us by a good maybe 3 years or so.
Okay. All
They
right.
were on around 20. We're the longest running medical drama in television history,
Wow,
and
James.
probably I think also maybe the longest running scripted drama in ABC's
Yes.
history.
Now, is that a blessing or is that a curse? Like to be on TV that
Oh
long?
shoot, man, it's been a blessing. Come on.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I figured I knew the answer. I just gave you an
Yeah.
opportunity. What do
And
you
I have the
enjoy
same
most?
job for 22 years. So come
Oh
on,
my
man.
goodness. So what do you enjoy most about that kind of longevity,
Uh, Knowing that there's a paycheck
James?
coming.
Man, don't
But
we all wish that?
oh man, so I mean, but to be a part of something that's now pretty much a lexicon of television pop culture,
Yes.
and to see the impact it's had culturally,
Yes.
and also on the entertainment front. But to see Shonda Rhimes take something and create a world that has impacted folks in so many ways. The show has become generational now. Well, when
Yes.
we aired back in '05, a lot of the kids weren't even born. Now, through Hulu and Netflix over the last 20 some odd years, we've garnered new audiences every time, and so
Yes.
it's like the show has now kind of always reinvented itself. That's
Yes.
been what's been so cool about it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And with short form social media, the clips and the reels, one of my favorite reels is when you call her the Nazi.
Oh,
That's
the
why they call
Nazi
you the Nazi.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
So,
sure.
excuse me. So,
Uh-huh.
one of the reasons we're talking to you today, I know you went through something. I wanted to have you come back on and talk because you had prostate cancer.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Talk to us about that journey. What was that like? How are you
hmm
doing today?
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. I was diagnosed back in April, late April, and during my routine physical, it had just been part of my physicals over the years. I started getting my prostate exams right around 41. I think that's what my primary care doctor was looking through the records, and it just was part of my physical. The blood work and everything. It'll always do that. And then, just long story short, back in 2024, your PSA number, which is the number that they look at in terms of the proteins and stuff that are in the blood that may register whether or not there may be something going on, ticked up just a little bit. It's still within the normal range, but my primary care guy said, "Look, why don't you go to urologist just check it out?" I said, "Sure." We went, and Dr. Kaplan is his name.
Okay.
And he looked at it and he said, "Oh, well, you're still in the normal range. Come back in a year," meaning 2025. I did. And then that January of 2025, after my physical, I usually schedule it right at the first of the year just so I don't forget.
Right.
So, primary care guy came back with my blood work and said, "Well, it's ticked up some more. Let's go and have it checked out." I said, "Sure." So we did, and my urologist, Dr. Kaplan, he looked at it and said, "Yeah, like something's here ticked up. Let's do an MRI." We did, and he said it came back and they found something that looked suspicious. He said, "I want to schedule a biopsy." I said, "Okay." We did. We came back and they found a little something. He said, "So we got some options. You caught it really, really early, which is the key to this for anybody, was early detection. We detected it really early. It was just confined to the prostate, hadn't spread anywhere else. We did a PET scan to make sure, but it was isolated just at the prostate. So we got two options. You can go and do radiation, or you can do what they call a total radical prostatectomy, which means removal of the prostate. So I didn't want to deal with radiation. There's a lot of moving parts. There's hormone therapy and the whole nine
Right.
yards. I was like, no, I ain't feeling that. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead and talk with the wife, talk with my daughter, and said, this is what I want to do. They say, whatever you want to do. And so I had it removed in late May of last year of 2025. And subsequently, I actually going for my next blood test next month. I've been what they call quote unquote undetectable, which means there is no sign of a PSA. Which in theory is why you have the prostate removed. If there's no prostate, supposedly there's no PSA to be measured. So right now I'm cancer free, and I'm planning on staying that way.
Hey, man, God is good.
God
God
is
is
good
good.
all the time.
That is excellent, James. And so I also noticed that you doing PSAs for.
I did a PSA. Long story short, when I got my diagnosis, I reached out to my executive producer, Meg Moranis. She's wonderful, and said, "Hey, look, this is what's happening. I just got this news. If my platform means anything, if it can get any kind of reach and reaction, I said I'd like to do something." I said I want to parallel my character's journey with mine. And so she said, Jim, I think that's a great idea. And I said, then I'd like to attach a PSA to it. So we reached out to ABC. We had some copy that they took a look at. They okayed it. And we attached it to the end of that particular episode, the episode that where my character finds out he has prostate cancer. It was our mid-season finale. So at the end of the episode, the PSA is attached that I do, and I have to tell you the response was more than I could imagine. It went viral. I mean, we did all of the various trade papers from Variety to Entertainment Weekly to Rolling Stone magazine, Good Morning America. We did a piece on it and stuff, and it just went far what I wanted it to, but I was glad, and the response had just been overwhelming.
Yeah, I can tell because I was watching, as we prepare for this, the impact that you had. And I'm sure you saved somebody's life out there, bro, because,
Yeah. Thank you,
we
man. I
as
hope
black
so.
men, we're a little
Yeah,
reluctant to go to the doctor.
sure.
I think that's changing, though. I think that quote unquote,
Hmm.
stereotype of black men is starting to
Yeah,
change
yeah.
because I think we are going to the doctor now. I think we're paying attention to our health.
Hmm.
By the way, the last time I talked to you, uh, you look like you ready for the Olympics, bro.
Well,
What do you? What
it's
do you?
interesting. After my prostate surgery, it's been an interesting health year here. I've had two major surgeries in the last 8 months. I had my prostatectomy, and then I had a knee replacement. So I got a matching set of knees now.
Okay,
But
okay,
in the interim, I lost about 25 pounds. And I said, I don't look too bad. I asked wifey, I said, how I look? She said, oh, you look good. I said, oh, well, let me see if how long I can keep it off,
yeah.
and stuff. So
Okay, so
I've
did
been
you
trying to
lose the
do.
25 to take the pressure off the knees, or did you just want to change lifestyle? What did you
Well, I think
do?
lifestyle, I think that the cancer diagnosis actually, puts stuff in perspective in a
Okay,
lot of ways. And so, I wish I would have wanted to do it another way, but, it jump started a kind of different look at health, my health and stuff and nutrition. And it always worked out that, and stuff like that. But, I said, and my primary care doctor said, well, you could shed a few pounds. I was right around 225 pounds and stuff before my surgery. And right now I'm right around the 190. So if I stay within the 190, 195, maybe 200 at the most.
yeah, you're in that BMI perfect range for your height and your body
Oh,
weight.
thank you, man. Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
did that take anything off the knees in terms of because
Hmm.
of course the more you weigh, the more
Yeah.
pressure on the knees. Did
Pressure.
that help the
Well,
knees?
I don't know. I mean, this new knee here, I had it November 13th. We had that surgery,
Okay,
but I think for me it was wear and tear. 73 years old. Obviously, it's a 73-year-old knee, and all of those things that go with it. Walking and stuff. I've been involved with the Western lifestyle, the horse thing for a long time, and that riding and stuff. And after a while, the knees say, "Okay, all right,
yeah.
let's do a little something different.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so I look at it as like, look, the good part is I got a brand new knee now.
Yeah.
Now it's learning how to work it. So there you go.
Now, what do you attribute the weight loss to? Is it more diet or did you do exercise?
More diet. I went more plant based. I'm not a vegetarian.
Okay.
I'm not that at all. But
Okay.
I'd like to. I stay more plant based. If I do some protein, animal protein, maybe twice a week, I'll do something like that. A lot more water. And
Okay.
yeah, just watching what I eat. Portion control is real big. You know, trying to stop eating right around 7 o'clock. You know, in the evening, and yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Man, you're looking good. You're looking
No, thank you.
fantastic.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
So
man.
I don't know how many people know, James, that you're actually from Cleveland, Ohio, and you
Yes.
are a student of Karamu House. Talk to us a
Yes.
little bit about your Cleveland life. I mean, growing up in
Yeah.
Cleveland and working at Karamu.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was born and raised in Cleveland, on the east side there, Wade Park Avenue and 92nd Street. I think all the schools that I went to are no longer around.
Right.
Went to old Harry, went to Harry Davis Junior High School, Daniel Lee Morgan Elementary, and the old East High.
Okay.
And so yeah, I went there, and then right around 71. I went to Bowling Green University. I got a degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts. I was actually training to be a visual artist, an illustrator, and a
Okay.
cartoonist.
Okay.
That was my passion. That's something I had done as long as I could remember. I could draw, you know, and
Right.
so I thought, well, maybe I'll do something, you know, within the arts. I mean, as an artist.
Okay.
But on the verge of graduating from college, I really didn't know teach art in high school. I don't know if I wanted to do that, but I didn't really have any options at that point. I uh, I met a gentleman there who was working on his PhD as a director, and he had to direct a student play. He was short one actor. He couldn't find anybody. And it was totally, you talk about coincidence, you know, being in the right place at the right time, or the
Mm.
right place at the wrong time. It was one of them. But long story short, he introduced himself, asked me to audition for a play that I eventually did. There's a professor who now he's in the Toledo area, Dr. John Scott, who was a professor there at the time. And also he was a playwright, published playwright, and produced playwright. And you know, on the eve of graduating and stuff, he said, "What are you going to do, Jim, when you go back?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "You know, you got some talent. You should look into." He said, "You got one of the most incredible places to work there is in the country." I said, "Well," he said, "Karamu." I knew of Karamu, but to be honest with you, I had never seen a production there. Growing up, he said, "You should really go back there and check these people out." So I said, "Okay, what do I have to lose?" And I went back, and I went to Karamu and saw a couple of plays, and I joined some workshops, and I started out as a stage manager.
Okay.
And I didn't perform for the first year or so. I finally got on stage and did several productions, and then folks kept saying, you know, you need to go to New York. That you need to go to New York. That's where it looks like your talent is leading you. So that was 1978. I went
Wow.
to New York, and the rest is history.
Wow. So when you went to New York, stage plays and
Yeah, yeah. Worked on the stage. You know, I worked and a lot of the history of Karamu was so rich with those actors who transitioned from Karamu to New York.
to New
Robert
York.
Guillaume, Ruby Dee, Ron O'Neal, Superfly. Ron was
Yeah.
a product of Karamu. The wonderful Reno Creighton. There was a lot of us that came through, and so there was a history there. So when I went there, folks, if nothing else, the name Karamu
Right.
would open a door for
Right.
you. So I
Right.
was lucky in that aspect.
Yeah, I had the privilege of interviewing Harold Crawford, who's a costumer and
Well,
was
yes, yes, yeah,
Robert Guillaume's personal
yes, yeah,
dresser for
uh-huh.
when he did Phantom of the Opera. So it's just
Phantom,
funny that you
sure,
mentioned Robert de Guillaume.
sure,
That's
yeah,
outstanding, bro.
yeah.
So you go from New York to
Mm-hmm.
LA.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you in a couple productions on TV before you did Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
How did you land Grey's Anatomy?
Oh boy. I'd done several series before Grey's Anatomy, and actually, I had just come off of a TV show called The Lion's Den. It was about attorneys, Rob Lowe, Ryan Chandler. I'm trying to think of who else. Francis Fisher, myself, a really amazing cast. And I think we got about 15 episodes in,
Okay.
and then they canceled the show. And then I got a call from my manager, and he said there's a medical drama that they're looking uh, into producing. ABC had it, and it had no title at the time. It was called the Untitled Shonda Rhimes Project.
Okay.
And they said they want to see you. I said, okay. I needed a gig, so I was like, and so I said, okay, sure, I'll go in. And I went in and met with them, and Shonda was there at the time, and I love her to death. And she's one of the sweetest people going. But anyway, I met with them over at Disney, and read the read the particular. Actually, it's the opening monologue that starts the whole episode. And so I read, and they said, "Oh, Jim, can you step out for a little bit?" You kind of know the routine. I'd get my bag together, say I'm about,
Right. Right.
and then they said, "Can you come back in?" I said, "Sure." I came back in, and it was Peter. Peter was one of our first executive producers, and he looked at me. He said, "Well, Jim, what are you doing for the next 5 years?" And literally, that's how I got the job.
That is fantastic,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
That is
So it's
fantastic. In 22 years,
22. Yeah.
um, now I know that you branched out a little bit and you
Hmm.
produced your first project. Is this your first?
Yeah, first one.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a short. It was a short. It's a short film. It was actually a school project. I was back east, actually in New Jersey, about almost 3 years ago, working on a play, and the director, Jim Glossman, said, "Hey, Jim, I wanted you to take a look at this." It was only about 12 pages, and it was a classroom project. And he said they were thinking of using it as a fundraiser for some of the smaller theaters that had been hit hard by COVID and losing subscribers and stuff. And he said they wanted to use it as a fundraising tool. He said, take a look at it and see what you think. I said, well, okay, I'll look at it. And I got through about maybe 5 or 6 pages. And I said, this is a film. It was unconventional, but it was just two characters, a man and a woman. And I said, this could be a film. And I went back and presented the idea to Jim, and he said, "You really think so?" I said, "Yeah." So fast forward, we produced it, and in Montclair, New Jersey, where we shot it, and yeah, and we got it up. We got it in the Montclair Film Festival, and so we've been trying to get it in position for other festivals and stuff, and we're waiting to see. Actually, tried to get it in Cleveland, but it wasn't gonna work. I
no,
was like,
no. I'm on the board at
nah.
G Cup, so we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Yeah, for the International Film Festival.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, but
yes, yes.
but still, the fact that we got it done, and I'm very proud of it. It helped launch my production company. So we have some other stuff in the pipeline we're very excited about. So
I
yeah.
was I was going to ask you. So, with you and your own production company, does that mean full length feature films?
Yeah,
What is that?
it'll be features, it would be a half hour, documentaries. We're excited. We have a project that Netflix is excited about, and
Okay.
we'll hopefully have something to present to them by the end of the month, or maybe hopefully by April. That we're very excited about, and they are too. So yeah, so we got some stuff going on.
That's exciting. Now, do you enjoy directing or just producing?
I don't think I have I don't know if I have the tolerance for directing. I like producing. I like the idea of creating something, looking at the world in a different way through the lens of film. Directing, I don't know if I'm patient enough for it,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I like the idea of story, telling story,
Yeah.
and finding really interesting stories, especially when it pertains to us, people of color. Or talking about gender, where we are culturally and stuff. That's the things that kind of get me going.
Yeah. Now, back when I was a young man and watching TV, we had Family Matters, Cosby
Hmm.
Show. we had black men on TV.
Yeah.
You are probably one of the last few black men that we see in primetime network television.
Oh,
What
wow.
is going on with the absence of black TV, meaning just black shows, and
Mhm.
how do we get that back?
Well, I think network TV, obviously, it's a different ball game, and thank you for that. But I was talking, one of my dear friends is Rocky Carroll, who's on NCIS,
Yes,
and Ice T. I think we're the like
the
the
last.
old we're the
Yes,
dinosaurs now
yes,
as far as algorithm television is concerned. But to answer your question, I think the it's not so much the absence of it or network TV, because network TV has got a different kind of rhythm now, and folks are going the route of the platform where you will see more of us. I think the avenues for more, there's more creativity there, and there's a chance for us to get our voices heard a little more without all of the restrictions that come with network television. It just is, the landscape has changed, and so the viewers have more options, and with more options, you have to have more content, and there's a lot of content out there that in regards to us, there's some great voices out there, some young voices, especially on the directorial front, and that's what I'm excited about with our company. We're looking to launch stuff on a platform where we can see us, we can
yes,
see mature black men, and hopefully younger black men and women, and how we coexist in this crazy new culture we're trying to navigate, and at the same time tell some fun stories.
yeah. Cedric the Entertainers. I think his last season is being taped this coming
Oh,
year.
with the neighborhood.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
And so
Hmm.
the one thing I would love for us to see is more black sitcoms where we have comedy.
All right.
We have a patriarch in the home.
Yeah.
Martin,
Hmm.
Jamie Foxx's show,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things like that. And so,
yeah, yeah,
so when
yeah.
you, yeah. So what do
Hmm.
you expect from Grey's Anatomy going forward? How long do you think that will continue?
Oh my God, it's such a cash cow. And that as long as they're gathering revenue, folks continue to watch it. They're the most incredible fans that I have ever come across. And they continue to tell great stories. Shonda Rhimes is probably one of the preeminent storytellers out there.
Yeah, yeah.
We've had a great writing staff, a really, really creative new cast. Actually, one of our new cast members is from Cleveland, Alexis Ford. She's a Clevelander.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she's a Clevelander, and so it was nice to have a homegirl there. But I think it's been the storytelling over the years. Grey's Anatomy, for all intent and purposes, was a soap opera, and folks like soap opera. They liked that. And it wasn't so much about the medical pieces of it and stuff. All those were intriguing, exciting. It was about the hookup. They want each week they want to see, well, who's the hookup on the
Yeah.
show now. This
Yes.
is so that, and but it's what it's carried the show.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of who wants to see hooking up, Mr. Steamy, Eric Dane passed away recently. What are your
Oh
thoughts
yeah,
on that?
yeah. Oh man, it was like a gut punch. This is my second personal encounter with someone with ALS. Obviously Eric, I think he got his diagnosis back almost 10 months
April.
ago.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Very, very fast.
Yeah, we really progressed, but we would text back and forth even after his diagnosis, and he'd get back with me, and it's such an insidious disease. And then my longtime agent of over 35 years, actually, he was my agent back in my New York days, Scotty. Scotty was diagnosed back 2 years ago. That's almost been 2 years. Actually, we talked not long before he passed, and I think Scott went in less than a year. So I've had some personal interaction with people that have been in my orbit. So I'm actually doing a voiceover thing for ALS here in the next week or so. Yeah,
That is
but
beautiful.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that in honor of Eric Dane, or is that
No, just in general. My wife and I were at a fundraiser that was honoring him about 3 weeks ago.
okay?
In ALS, and yeah, it's they gotta find a cure for this puppy because this thing here is no joke.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
friend pass away recently from it as well.
Oh, wow, sorry to hear
And
that.
it is devastating, bro, because our kids played lacrosse together.
Oh, wow.
Our boys were roommates in college,
Oh my gosh.
and so
Oh,
yes, yes,
oh, I'm
it's a
sorry to hear that.
devastating thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
we're sorry to hear about Eric Dane. He was one of our favorites
Yeah. Yeah.
on the show, and so
Uh-huh.
many good memories of the storytelling they did around his character,
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
fun he was to
He
watch. Just
was,
a
man. He was great.
good
He was
looking dude,
really, yeah,
charismatic.
really talented, really,
Yes,
really handsome. I just used to say, I said, you know, you're too handsome. You know, you
you look too good.
he looked too good,
Yeah.
But he was very self-deprecating, and but really talented guy, really, really smart guy, a Bay Area kid. And just he leaves behind two teenage daughters and stuff, and you just you pray for the family and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, I know we told you half an hour. We'll get you out of here
No
on
worries.
that. And so, James, it is so good to talk to you again, my
Good
friend,
seeing you, Brad.
and good seeing you. And
Okay.
enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, you too, my brother. Thank you,
All
man.
right.
Take care.
Okay.